Hi friends, I'm Kainath. You are watching my channel, The Dark Neuron. Let's jump straight into today's video.
Some names refuse to die. Even when the people who carried them are erased from history, there is a story whispered among archivists, librarians, and late-night researchers. A story about a name that once existed everywhere, written in newspapers, carved into buildings, printed in government files, and then vanished completely as if reality itself decided to forget it. The strange part isn't that the name disappeared, it's that a few people still remember hearing it. But no one can say it out loud anymore. In 1997, a junior historian named Daniel Hargreaves was cataloging abandoned municipal records inside a collapsing records office scheduled for demolition. The building had survived fires, floods, even political restructuring, yet no one had entered its lower archive rooms in nearly 40 years. Daniel described the basement as unusually cold. Despite broken windows letting warm air inside, dust hung motionless, like the air itself refused to move. While sorting through mislabeled boxes, he discovered a sealed folder stamped with a classification that didn't match any known department. No logo, no issuing authority, just a warning typed in fading ink: remove reference upon discovery. Inside were photographs dating back to the early 1900s. Each image showed crowds, ceremonies, public gatherings, and always in the center, one individual circled in black ink: a mayoral inauguration, a wartime strategy meeting, a scientific conference. Different decades, different cities. Yet the same face appeared every time, never aging, never changing. Expression. At first Daniel assumed it was coincidence or manipulation, until he checked accompanying newspaper clippings. Every article mentioned the same person repeatedly, credited with influencing infrastructure projects, diplomatic negotiations, and technological breakthroughs. The figure seemed deeply important to global events, almost impossibly influential, but where the name should have been, there was only empty space, not scratched out, not censored, just missing. Sentences read unnaturally, as if language itself avoided completing the thought. The proposal was approved following consultation with the discovery. Was made possible by the guidance of Daniel. Later wrote in his journal that reading those gaps caused physical discomfort, like trying to remember a word resting at the edge of memory but forever unreachable. Curiosity turned into obsession. He searched digital archives, university databases, even foreign records. Occasionally he found corrupted entries referencing an unidentified advisor connected to major historical turning points. Each time, the same absence appeared where the name belonged. Then something stranger happened. Daniel began dreaming of conversations he couldn't recall upon waking. He described hearing someone introduce themselves repeatedly, only for the sound to dissolve before completion. Soon after, co-workers noticed behavioral changes. Daniel paused mid-sentence often, staring into space as if listening to someone standing beside him. Once, during lunch, he asked a colleague, "Do you ever feel like someone important is missing from history?" The colleague laughed it off, but Daniel didn't smile. 3 weeks later, security footage captured Daniel returning to the archive building after midnight. Though officially closed, he unlocked the basement door using credentials that records later showed had already been revoked. The camera showed him speaking to empty air, nodding slowly as though receiving instructions at exactly 2:13 a.m. The footage glitched. When it resumed, Daniel was gone. Police assumed voluntary disappearance. No signs of struggle, no evidence of departure. His apartment remained untouched, computer running, research documents open. On his desk, investigators found a single sheet of paper filled with frantic handwriting repeating the same sentence dozens of times. "I almost remembered." The case faded quickly, filed under missing persons, until 5 years later, when an independent researcher named Lena Kovacs stumbled onto Daniel's digitized notes while studying historical anomalies. She noticed something unsettling. Metadata from Daniel's files showed constant edits occurring after his disappearance. Someone or something had continued accessing his research. Lena followed the trail, uncovering references scattered across centuries. Ancient census lists containing unexplained population discrepancies, monuments dedicated to unnamed benefactors, patents credited to anonymous consultants whose contributions reshaped entire industries. History showed fingerprints of guidance. Without an owner, then she discovered a classified psychological study conducted during the Cold War. Volunteers exposed to recovered documents consistently reported identical symptoms: headaches, memory loss, and overwhelming fear when attempting to pronounce a specific reconstructed name. One participant reportedly succeeded once. Witnesses claimed every recording device in the room malfunctioned simultaneously, light bulbs shattered, and the speaker collapsed unconscious when revived. The participant had no memory of language for nearly 6 hours, unable to recognize even their own name. The experiment was immediately terminated, all references sealed. Lena became convinced humanity had encountered an individual or entity whose identity could not safely exist within human cognition, a person remembered by history, but rejected by memory itself. Her final recorded message, uploaded anonymously to an online forum in 2008, contained a chilling realization. She proposed that forgetting wasn't accidental, it was protection. According to her theory, the mysterious figure influenced civilization quietly, guiding progress from behind the scenes, remaining known only long enough to shape events before reality corrected the imbalance by erasing recognition, not killing the individual, just removing the name, because names give permanence and permanence gives power. The post ended with a warning: "I think I know why Daniel disappeared. I found a full reference tonight. The name almost formed in my mind. And something noticed." Lena Kovacs vanished 2 days later. Her apartment door was locked from inside, laptop still recording audio, capturing hours of silence interrupted only once by a faint voice near the microphone, a voice not matching hers. It calmly asked a question: "Do you remember me now?" Investigators reviewing the file reported intense nausea while listening. Several claimed they briefly recalled a name they immediately forgot seconds later. Today, historians occasionally encounter strange grammatical gaps in restored archives. Linguists call them transcription errors. Programmers blame data corruption, but sometimes, late at night, researchers experience the same unsettling thought Daniel once described: the feeling that someone essential stands just outside collective memory, watching history unfold, guiding moments humanity credits to coincidence or genius. And maybe the most terrifying possibility isn't that the name was erased. Maybe it still exists, waiting for someone curious enough or unlucky enough to remember it again, because if forgetting truly protects us, then remembering might be the last mistake a person ever makes. And somewhere right now there may already be another archive worker opening a forgotten box, reading a sentence that suddenly stops right before a name that refuses to be known.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next video.